Hey, welcome back to Let's Play Spelunky. Moving along to 100% this bad boy at a snail's pace. An acidic spit-spewing snail, to be precise. Yeah, our progress is in the crapper here. Consistently making it to the jungle so far this session, though, which is a market improvement, and I walked into it. Over the market, why even bother starting this run again? I come in and die right away. Oh well. I know the reason I wanted to pick right up. This is like literally seconds from the last video because no one was answering when I phoned. My 15-minute phone conversation doesn't even happen. But yeah, we were talking about cold brew in the last episode and how much space it took up. And I want to get back into it, try it again, see how it goes. But I'm gonna have to change something. I don't know. Change the recipe, the makeup, change the like the ratio, or change the. There's a lot of spiders. I'm just gonna get out of here as fast as possible. Gotta change something with it. I don't know if I let it sit at room temperature out, like not in the fridge. I don't know what that would do to it. But yeah, something I'd have to give there. What else we were talking about? This has been a wide variety topic session. Talked a little bit about death. Talked a little bit about waking up in a cold sweat filled with anxiety because you were watching movies about death way past your bedtime. Or what should be your bedtime. Even adults should have a bedtime. I mean, I'm not the poster boy for this because I have horrible sleep schedule. I don't take care of myself in that regard. And it's not good. If you could keep a sleep schedule, a bedtime, I think that's wise, and that's why you make kids do it, because it's good for you. It's good to have a bit of a routine. You don't want to be so stuck in a routine that you can't function outside of that routine. But keeping a decent routine for your living situation is always a good idea. I don't preach about it because again, I don't follow that, but I recognize. Yeah, I'm gonna get stuck here. I recognize the value in it. It is hugely, immensely valuable to keep a routine of some sort. And like I said, I'm installing a new game after this because I'm gonna get wrecked by this game pretty quick. I think I'm gonna install both Dungeon of the Endless and Ascendant. Ascendant I would love to get back into. I always wanted to take the art style from Ascendant and animate some things with those characters because I know I wouldn't be able to do it justice, and I have a hard time taking stuff that isn't mine and not doing like a very obvious parody of it. Like, I think I did this again. Like when it's an obvious parody, I'm within my rights to spoof stuff and parody it, and I don't take things exactly, and I don't parody in a crass, demeaning way. At least I try not to. I try to capture the spirit of the subject. Well, maybe poking a little bit of fun. It wouldn't be a true parody if you didn't poke fun at some stuff, but to just do something almost as like a fan thing, and just because you respect the work and to take it and use it. I mean, I'm also never done anything for money, so I should sleep easy because of that. Like I'm not stealing someone's art, like literally just taking their art and taking it for myself. It would be being heavily inspired by an art style and set of characters and working it into my own animations, and then putting that out to the world for free. So again, not a lot that should make me not sleep at night, but still have a hard time with it. I'm getting better at it, but it is still something that I wonder about and start to use as a reason to get kind of locked up from progress, which is my number one problem. Either, you know, I spoil myself for choice, or I distract myself over and over and over until I'm running in circles and can't get anything done. But yeah, it's my number one issue. And getting better, but still happens. So we actually did manage to find our damsel and probably enough money to buy that shotgun. So we're gonna run this run through. We got tons of HP now, and we have a good chance to make something happen here. So we're gonna take a little bit of time to get back to the shotgun while consuming as few resources as possible. And our economy suddenly is much better. And our loadout is much better. So that's good. But yeah, I think I was on a camping tirade before this video, trying to talk about camping in the bush versus the forest. Something like that, right? I think what I was saying was, yeah, when we camp, it's not in a campground anymore. Go out in the bush, not the forest, but the bush, and find a place to camp there. There's a fair. It's tough. I mean, it's not easy, but the places are out there. We've got so much HP. I don't know if this is gonna count as a human. Yeah. She was pleased with me anyway. But we also have a family place. This is making me feel like I'm sounding way more like first worldly privilege than actually thought. We have a family place, place in the bush that I've gone to ever since I was a teenager. On the lake, you know, you do the boating. That's where we do the fishing and the boating and the exploring trails on, you know, quads and stuff like that. Quads, ATVs. I grew up saying four-wheelers. They're little buggies, vehicles with four wheels that are not cars. They're four-wheelers. But I think that came because there used to be in the 80s three-wheelers were very common, and they became basically outlawed without being actually outlawed, discontinued. You know, nobody made them anymore because of safety issues. I think the three-wheel setup was just far too conducive to tip. You got one wheel in the front, middle, and then two wheels in the rear. It was just way too easy to another shotgun. Can you do dual-wheeled shotguns? I'm gonna assume no. Far too easy to tip, so as those were discontinued and worked their way through the vernacular in order to distinguish a new wheeled buggy meant for the bush and trails, you know, you would ask, well, is it a three-wheeler or a four-wheeler? You know, as that phase-out process was happening, and you say, oh, it's a four-wheeler. So, you know, four-wheeler became at least for me where I am, became the way of saying, you know, instead of saying quad or ATV, and now I think it's a lot of that. It's a lot of quadding. Let's go quadding. Whereas when I was a kid, it was, oh, let's take the four-wheelers out, you know? Seems like a pointless distinction to make. Well, why are you even talking about that, Roman? Why even bring that up? What has that got to do with... Ooh, baby. Okay, how do we handle this? We're We're going to burn resources to come back for the shotgun. That's how we're going to handle this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do... What happens if I go with her? Into the... No. Can't go into the bowels of the sandworm. It must be a time thing. You got to do that so many times. Yeah. I guess. I mean, I've even started... I haven't even done a rant on Dune yet. Like, it's in the back of my head. Because I probably... Well, not probably. Easily my favorite series of books. Dune. Amazing work. All of them. I love them all. Even the crappy ones that were done by... I mean, you're in, like... if you're counting Dune books in the Dune universe, between, you know, the principal author and then his son and writing partner, after that, you're easily in the dozens. There are dozens of Dune books. Dozens? Or over a dozen, for sure. The original trilogy with 6. The original... yeah, the original trilogy. There was 6 of them. The original series of books, there were 6. And then, you know, there was the 3 houses, up to 9. Then you had another trilogy, I think, that were from way before. There was another trilogy there, probably, so call that the dozen. The principal 3 trilogies at a dozen. I haven't finished that series, you know. I should go back. I've read Dune itself probably 4 times. I read the entire series through, the original series through. This is not the time. I'm not going in on this rant now. I'm talking about, it's just that stupid Dune worm has got me thinking about it now, but I want to go all in on this conversation. What a pitiful, sad, pathetic display that was. Just bouncing around, killing things. My inability to control my own dead carcass is what led to actually killing the things that were causing me problems. That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. But yeah, we're talking about camping. Is this the cold brew episode, or is this the camping episode that was trying to turn itself into a Dune episode? It's not going to be a Dune episode. I'm not going to let that happen. We're going to have a time in the future when that's what we talk about. But for right now, we're going to stick to the boring camping stories and spending a ridiculous amount of resources to get a blonde and then throw her off the cliff. So yeah, camping in the bush, superior to camp. Let's recap everything. We've got like 10 minutes left here. Let's start the recap. Camping in the bush, superior to camping in campgrounds. Which is superior, again, not as a judgment thing, just more for me in my experience. It's more rewarding camping in the bush rather than camping in campgrounds. Which is more camping in campgrounds, actual camping. Even if you have your own trailer, like I'm not talking you gotta go full on tent commando style here. Can I afford this? No. But just not camping in a cabin. Like when I go to our family camp place, I don't say I'm going camping. I'm going to camp. I'm going to camp. Where are you going this weekend? I'm going to camp. But we're not camping. But if you're talking about camping experiences, camping in the bush superior to camping in a campground, which is superior to camping in a campground in a cabin. Yeah, I would say that's accurate. These look like bombs. There's nothing there, though. Yeah, I would say that is an accurate series of statements. I would hope. I would imagine. Cold brew. Delicious. Love it. Help with my indigestion issues. Tasty. Way too time consuming and resource intensive. Resources that it's too intensive in? Time. Resources that it's too intensive in? Space. Resources that it's too intensive in? Coffee beans. There you go. That one's solved. Will do it again? Absolutely. 10 out of 10 would cold brew again and will be cold brewing again. But it's just not supplanted my primary coffee consumption method yet. Maybe one day when I hopefully have additional resources in terms of time, in terms of space, and in terms of coffee beans, I'll make it my primary source. But until then, nope. Not happening. I'll dabble in it every once in a while, but I got a pot of coffee sitting on the burner right now, and that'll be the way I go for the foreseeable future. Next topic, Spelunky. I'm not very good. Still gonna play, still gonna get better, still gonna work for the 100%, but we're gonna be incorporating new games in. Break up my monotony. It's not monotony, but break up the consistency of it while maintaining recording consistency, and have a few things that'll help me maybe stay focused. Keep my not stay focused, but stay calm about it. Take a more methodical approach that doesn't have me getting exasperated. Exasperated? Sure, exasperated on the game. What else? Is that all we talked about? Oh yeah, it's also not wrong to borrow art styles and complement art styles through parody and satire. A little more gray area, maybe it's not gray area, maybe it's clearly one or the other, but I don't know. When you're just taking an art style to complement because you enjoy it, make something of your own with it that's not commercial. Probably okay, I would imagine. How much? That's the thing. How much? And you get into these guys that are streaming and playing other people's games online, and what are the legality? Like, I know if it's, and I think it's a legal definition. I think where everything stands right now is that if it's transformative, it's not an issue. Well then, how do you define transformative, right? Is it transformative to play a game for X number of years, X number of times a day, and make X career out of it because you're talking over it? It seemed to be. In my opinion, it is. But is it? Is that how you define it transformative? So then when you start talking about other mediums, is it transformative just to talk? Can I plagiarize an essay if I'm talking over it? Right? If I sit down and write a speech, a famous speech or a famous essay, and talk over it the whole time, have I plagiarized? Right? I don't know. I guess it depends. Does it depend on transformative at the point of consumption? If I then hand in that essay, obviously it is still a plagiarized essay, and my professor or teacher or whatever would rightly accuse me and punish me based on plagiarism. Well, no, sir, I recorded myself commentating over. Is that going to cause him to be mad? I commentated over myself as I played, or as I wrote said essay. Oh, well then, okay, it's not. No, of course it's still plagiarism. You have not transformed it. It has to do with the point of consumption. So if I've not played a game, or is it the person who's consuming it? No, it's a screwed up area. The person playing the game and recording, oh, for God's sakes, is the person who's consuming, is the person who's transforming, but not the person who's consuming. They are consuming it. They're playing the game. They're getting the game value out of it, plus the transformed value of creating the transformed content. I think it changes. The internet already completely, I always say devalues creativity, but it's just made a platform so much more widespread, I think, more than anything, right? And then in turn, everyone is a creator. Everyone can create and get their created products to market. So the value just has tanked, right? There was a time I wanted to go into animation and wanted to become an animator. I see no point in that now. Why? Why would I do such a thing? By the time I finished, I would be so behind the 8 ball, and I already am so behind the 8 ball, right? I will never be a world-renowned animator. I will never work for Disney. I will never work for whatever. I will never be huge on the internet. I could try, but I mean, and then to sort of throw in X number of years of schooling and training just didn't seem to make sense. Because there are people out there that are already getting such higher value, and online I would never be able to reach that same value. I don't know if I've expressed that very well. It's not even going to reach the lady. Yeah, it is. It is going to reach the lady. We've got the lady. I got to use a creative way to get out of here, but we got her. Oh, jeez. So yes, the internet, I feel, has devalued creativity. And then you throw onto that this whole, well, you've transformed it, so you've transformed one media property so you can just broadcast that media property that someone else has created to thousands and thousands of people. But because you've transformed it by talking over it, that's fine. It's a strange excuse me. It's a strange way of thinking about things. But that's the age we live in, and those are the questions we have to have answered. You know, we've got to have these discussions. Yep. Because that's just what's going on. We're going to call it here. These 3 episodes are going to go up, and we'll probably be back with a new game. Probably. Hopefully. Something new, something fresh for me to transform by speaking words into a microphone as I play. To put a cap on that part, we've summarized every other part of the episode. To put a cap on this part of the episode, I don't know what I'm talking about. This is off the top of the head, what I see going on, and from my limited perspective, my limited understanding, I'm trying to learn, not casting judgment, not trying to justify my own place in the world through it. It's just off the top of the dome piece, talking, sorting stuff out, thoughts out as they come through my head. So until next time, thanks very much. See you soon.